Hey guys, what's up? I know it's been a minute. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody had a great week. Listen to me. When I say these past couple of weeks has been rough, they have been rough, okay? But thank God your girl made it out okay with all of her sanity. Right? Because we definitely need that. And I am so thankful and so grateful for every experience that has helped me to grow and is helping me to become the person that I am meant to be. So for every experience, be it good or be it bad, I am grateful because I choose to look at the lesson that was meant for me through it all, learn from it, apply it, and move forward. Now, with that being said, whilst going through all of this, these past couple of weeks, I had to make some readjustments, mainly in my intake of things. Now, people say you are what you eat, which is true, because our diet affects our bodies. It can either nourish our core, our being, to a better lifestyle, or it can, slowly deteriorate us to a slow death. And if you are what you eat, then it only means that you become what you consume. And not only in a physical sense, but in every aspect, the things that we consume affects us, be it mentally, physically, or emotionally. They say birds of a feather flocks together. They say be careful or watch the company that you keep. Based on the company that you keep or the people that you associate yourself with can either help you to elevate to greater heights, or they can leave you stagnant in one position, unmoving, just in one place, or they can drag you down to their level if they are not progressing in life. So when you surround yourself with positive thinking people, you eventually learn to adapt and start to think positively, and you start to do things in a more positive manner. I say all of this to say, if all of this is true, then the very same thing applies to social media. And this is why I say this, right? So during the course of the week, when I was, going through a series of emotions, I was all over the place. I was up, I was down, like just emotional. You can blame it on the retrograde, because Mercury was, doing its own little thing out there in orbit. For those of us that follow astrology or have an idea of how that works, when Mercury is in retrograde, watch out, right? But whilst going through all of that, I decided that I was going to not only reevaluate my life and reevaluate the people that are around me or the people that I associate myself with, but I also wanted to reevaluate the content that I followed or the people that I followed on social media. And when I tell you, it makes a world of difference. It really does. I went down my list on social media and, viewed the contents that a lot of people that I was following. I viewed the contents that they posted. And mind you, the majority of the people that I followed, they're not necessarily bad people, because me personally, I am very selective of the people that I call friends or the people that I choose to talk to. I'm very selective. And again, these people are not necessarily bad people. They weren't, at least not to me. But, some of the contents that they viewed, some of the content that appeared on my feed, be it on Instagram or Facebook, it was not very productive to me. It was not very conducive to my well-being. And so unfortunately, I had to unfriend and unfollow some of these people. And I proceeded to follow strangers. And these people that I now have on my list to follow, these people are more in tune with the kind of things that I'm interested in. Because, sometimes you would follow a person because you know them, you grew up with them, you went to school with them. There was a period of time in your life where you and these people may have been friends. And even though throughout the course of the years, of course, we're grown and we all have separate lives. But, Facebook and Instagram, like social media, it's a way to reconnect with certain people and certain individuals. And that thing called growth, is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. Because as you grow as a person into becoming who you are destined to be, you tend to outgrow certain things that you may have been interested in the past. You find to be no longer of interest to you. The people that you once called friends, they have now turned into people that associates in a sense, because you have outgrown them. And it had taken me the period of these past few weeks to understand that, I have outgrown some of these people. I have outgrown the content that they posted and that was on my newsfeed. And so I had to reevaluate some of those things. And that was probably one of the best things that I could have done for myself. A lot of times, growing up, when you're listening to music and, you hear the old folks say, music influences the generation. And it does. Whether you want to agree or disagree, I am not trying to convince anybody, because for me, this is like my own personal experience with it. I'm not a person that usually listens to vulgar music. I like music and songs that is calming and soothing and very relaxing. Of course, I have a few, music that, get the body moving, get the blood flowing, makes you want to shake. I do. But at the same token, I am more of a laid back, mellow, chilled kind of person. And so my music kind of reflects it. I'm not saying that I listen to classical music, because I don't. Unfortunately, I wish that I had a taste for classical music, but I do like music that is calming and soothing, that can calm the spirit in a sense. And when you think about the kind of music that the older generation, listened to back in the day, it's nothing compared to the kind of music that we listen to, or the music that this generation is actually listening to. The messages in the songs, in the music, is like so totally and completely different. So again, if you are what you eat, if the people that you associate yourself with can somehow alter your being as a person, the same thing applies to music. The very same thing applies to social media. And, as much as people don't want to admit it, be like, it's just the music, it's just for entertainment. The music isn't, doing anything negative. If a person does, it's their choice, which, and I agree. I do agree with that point. But at the same token, it's like, when you start to listen to something over a period of time, it affects you. It really does. It's almost likened to the way that we talk and interact with our kids. As adults, I don't want to say parents, as adults generally, because children are not only around their parents, they are usually around other adults, and they have other outside influences that is programming their minds. So as a young child, based on the message that is conveyed to them as a young child growing up, that is basically what their outcome is going to be. If you repeatedly tell a child that they're ugly, they're going to think that they're ugly. Perfect example is this whole ridiculous thing with colorism as far as dark skin and light skin. We have been told for generations that light skin are better than darker skin. People that has a darker skin tone has been made to think and to believe that they are ugly because they're not light skinned. Black people generally, be it male or female, for generations, years, have been told how ugly we are. Our hair is ugly, our lips, like everything about us, our physical features that makes us us, that makes us unique. We have been told for generations that we're ugly. We have been brainwashed into thinking that we are less than the white people. Mind you, this segment is really not about like a racial thing, but this is just like in comparison for those of you that may think that the kind of content that you view really has no type of influence on your mental psyche, because it does. Because the more you continue to listen to a certain music, a certain kind of music, you are programming your mind to think a certain way. And once you start to think a certain way, you start to react and behave a certain way. You see where I'm going with this? Like, are you guys following me? So the content that you follow on social media is very much like that. And for me personally, I found that when I revamped my followers and I started following more spiritually guided people. I started to follow more business minded people. I found for me that I found for me that I don't know how to explain it. It was almost like therapeutic for me. Mind you, listen, am I perfect? No, definitely not. Do I still have my moments where I'm freaking out? Hell yeah, I'm human. Golly. And I'm a female at that, But I can definitely start to recognize the changes in my thought process. And the Bible tells you, so a man thinketh, so is he. If you can think it, then it can become a reality. You think it. Everything starts in your mind, literally. For the religious folks out there that is listening and who knows the Bible, in the beginning it says the word was spoken. Listen, I'm not going to quote scripture for scripture. I'm just going to give you an idea of what it says, okay? But it basically said that everything that was created was spoken into existence. Before those words could have been formed, it was a thought. It had to be a thought. It had to be an idea in the Creator's mind. He thought it. The creation first started in his mind. And then he spoke the words and gave life to the words. You follow me? So when you have your kids and you are feeding your kids negativity, you are planting negative seeds in their minds. And they are going to grow. It's going to take root, and they're going to grow with that negativity. And they're not going to become productive citizens in their communities. And so as adults, the kind of music that we choose to listen to, they're planting seeds in our minds. And those seeds are eventually taking roots. And when they start to take roots, it starts to affect our behavior. It starts to affect the way that we think mentally. It starts to affect the way that we think about ourselves. It starts to affect the way that we speak about ourselves, which then in turn impacts the way that we think about our neighbors and our communities and our people around us. And we start to bleed out those negativity into our communities. To a child that is born into a wealthy family, or, I don't want to say wealthy, but, different families, from the minute that child is conceived, still in the womb, their parents are talking to them. Because believe it or not, infants, whilst they're still in the oven baking, they're very aware of their surroundings. They can hear everything that's going on the outside around them. And so parents would speak to their children while still in the belly, and they are speaking positivity into that child's life. They are telling that child, even before that child is born, that nothing is impossible for them, that they can do anything that they put their minds to. And then you have other families, you have other people, they could care less about the kids or whatever. And then as when that child is born, they reinforce it. And throughout the life of these kids as they grow up, it's being reinforced, and it's being repeated into their minds. The seed is planted. So these children, they grow up thinking, believing in themselves. Their confidence level is so high that it's nearly impossible to knock them down, to have them to doubt themselves that there is nothing that they can't do. So as adults, we have to be mindful of the contents that we view, because it can breed negativity into our minds. Like one of the things that one of the many posts, or memes, or whatever you want to call them, that I detest seeing on social media is real men and real women posts. Because for a female that is hurting, for a female that is in a broken marriage or a broken relationship, when they go on social media and they see these real men do this, real men do that, then all of a sudden, if the guy that they are in a relationship with, if they feel like this person isn't living up to the real men post, then all of a sudden they catch an attitude. Mind you, the relationship may not have been perfect. Then all of a sudden they catch attitudes because, after seeing real men do this and real men do that, it creates a bigger problem. It creates a bigger rift. As opposed to maybe if they saw encouraging posts and, suggesting ways that they can try to improve their relationship, maybe they can follow those advice, and try to fix it. Or, sometimes the relationship doesn't necessarily have to be rocky. The relationship doesn't necessarily have to be bad. A guy could be in a relationship with a female, and, is she perfect? No, definitely not perfect. But she may have been perfect for him. Is there some areas that maybe she needs to work on to help her grow? Maybe, definitely. Because we change daily. We grow every day. We learn different things every day. But when a guy sees a post, and honestly, I don't think men pay too much attention to those kind of memes or, those kind of posts, but, for the few that maybe does it, when they see a post that says real women do this and real women do that, and they stop and they look at the woman that is in their lives, and they're looking at this meme, they're like, hold up, wait, she don't do that, then all of a sudden it's going to create a problem. It's going to be like, well, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You know what I mean? So again, social media can affect our way of thinking. Again, the content that we view on social media, it can either breathe new life into us, or it can literally drain us and make us mentally and emotionally tired for absolutely no reason. You find yourself freaking out. You find yourself, having all of these different emotions and different feelings, and you can't explain it because we're taking in so much negativity. There's so much negativity going on in the world right now that the last thing we need to do is to soak up more negativity into our core existence. It should be our goal to avoid negativity as much as you can. Whether it's the news, whether it's the movies that we watch or the shows, the programs that we view on TV, whether it's the kind of music that we listen to, whether it's the kind of books that we read, we should always aim for the content to be more positive. Am I saying to, bypass reality and live in la la land? Of course not, no. But what I am saying is that there should be balance. Especially if you are an empath. If you are a broken soul. If you are a broken person and you are on a journey trying to find yourself, you are in a journey trying to heal yourself, the last thing that you need is the negativity of others, be it the negativity of family members and friends, be it the negativity that is on TV, be it the negativity of the music, be it the negativity of social media. It can be damaging to us, especially if you are trying to heal. When you feel emotionally and mentally drained, it is a sure sign that you need to take a break. Not just from work, not just from your kids, because listen, parents do need breaks too, okay? Take it from me. No parent can parent their kids effectively the way that they need to if they don't take breaks every now and then. I'm not saying abandon your children. That is not what I'm saying. But you do need to take some time out for yourself. You need to take a breather for yourself, because only then can you be the kind of parent that you need to be to your child. Only then can you be the kind of parent that your kids need you to be for them. If you're burnt out, you cannot parent effectively, okay? So yes, parents do need breaks. So if you feel mentally drained, physically drained, emotionally drained, and if you're not completely sure what is draining you, it's best that you take a break from everything, especially social media. And again, this is coming from something that I experienced personally, because I had to do somewhat of an experiment per se. I had to do a little bit of an experiment on myself, and this is the conclusion that I came to, because for me, even though it's been a short time, I do see the changes. I can literally feel the changes. So day by day, of course it's going to take practice. But again, the best way to start is to, go through your list, go through your contact list, go through your phone list, go through your social media list, go through your IG list, your Facebook list, your Twitter, whatever other social media outlet that you have. Take the time and go through it and view the content. If the content that is on your feed isn't nourishing to the soul, then you don't need to view it, And the same thing goes with family members and the content and the people on your contact list. If this is a person, every time you speak to them, They're always so pessimistic. They're always complaining about something or someone. Like every single day, this person is going on and on and on about how shitty their life is, how shitty their job is, how shitty their friends, their family, their jobs, their relationship, whatever. They find something to complain about. You need to cut that person off. Like, take that person off your contact list. Like, literally, take them off. Because they are draining to you. Other people's problems can be draining to you. Especially if you are not properly trained to mentally and emotionally handle these, like, other people's problem, it can start to affect you. Like, I always wondered, like, for therapists and psychiatrists or whatever, I always wonder, who do they go to with their problems? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was a therapist and I was seeing maybe about 5 to 6 people in a day, and they're coming to me, of course it's my job, and they're coming to me to vent or to talk about their problems because they need an outlet and they need someone that they can trust with an unbiased opinion, someone that's not going to judge them. And I'm listening to these different people on a daily basis, and I'm taking in their problems, so to speak. I always wonder, do the therapists have a therapist? Does the psychiatrist have a psychiatrist? Because, you know, they can't really take their clients' problems home to their spouse. That's if they have a spouse. I always wondered. I always wondered. But in closing, I'm gonna leave you with this thought. Your social media feed should do 3 things. Your social media news feed should inspire, educate, and challenge you. All for the better. I will say it one more time. Your social media feeds should inspire you, educate you, and challenge you. And if the content on your social media feeds isn't doing any of that, then you need to revamp and you need to find some more positive people to follow that can nourish your soul, whether it's spiritually or business-wise, even as far as entertainment. You know what I mean? So go ahead and do that today. Try it out. Like, test it out. I don't want to tell you, okay, this is what you have to do. But go ahead and test it out. Do a little experiment. Do it for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And, go back and reevaluate yourself. The kind of person that you were, prior to those few weeks that, before you revamped your social media contact list, your followers, or the people that you choose to follow. And tell me if you notice any difference in your thought process which will eventually lead to you feeling or thinking differently about yourself and the way that you view people and the world around you. Because there's so much negativity going on in this world right now, and we all need a little ray of sunshine, just a little ray of hope, so that we don't lose ourselves. And we do not want to lose ourselves in the negativity that surrounds us already, and your social media should be a place where, again, it inspires you to do better. It should challenge you to want to do better. It should educate you on ways to do better. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I know it's been a minute, but again, my podcast, I always want the content that I share with you guys to be something meaningful. And I always want it to be something where each and every one of you that is listening can find, a little gem to hold on to that will trigger something in yourself to make, self-reflect and, to make the necessary adjustments if need be. Because we all need each other in this world, whether we know each other personally or not. At the end of the day, we are all each other's keepers. We all need each other to get through this. So if anything that I say in any of my segments or in any of my shows can touch someone and can inspire someone, then I would have done my good deed for that period of time. Because if it's one thing that I know, is that our experiences, our personal experiences, is not only meant for us. The lesson in our personal experiences is not only meant for us, but it is also meant to inspire another person so that they can find the strength and the courage in themselves to elevate and grow. But we must first find the courage to find the voice and to speak about our experiences so that other people out there can know that they are not alone in whatever it is that they are going through. And rather than judging someone, if they trust you enough to come to you and to vent and to share a very intimate part of them, do not break their trust and do not judge. Because sometimes people just need a listening ear. Sometimes they don't even need advice. Sometimes all we need is to have someone to listen to our plight, listen to what we're feeling, listen to what we are going through. Sometimes a listening ear is all that we need. And to seal it off with a genuine and sincere hug can go a long way. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the support so very much, and I love you guys. Stay blessed.